Well, it's definitely the dog days of summer, as they call it, and hopefully you're having a good summer. And your kids, I'm sure, are very excited about the summer being here and no school. It's hard to believe, of course, back to school is just around the corner. However, let's talk for a few minutes about the tax aspects of summertime and your kids. There are three things I want to talk about today on this topic. First of all, let's talk about flexible spending account plans or cafeteria plans or FSA plans as it pertains to dependent care benefits. And this doesn't really have anything, I guess, to do with the summer, so to speak, but I want to throw this in here on the topic of children. So, if your employer offers you a cafeteria plan or a flex plan where you can put in up to $5,000 pre-tax straight out of your paycheck, it comes right off the top. It won't be included in your W-2, so it is tax-free. If they offer that program to you and you take advantage of it and put in the full $5,000, when it comes to tax time, don't forget to tell your tax preparer that you want to consider the child and dependent care credit. The dependent care credit can be up to $6,000 of expenses considered if you have two or more children who are under the age of 13. So don't think that just because you use the flexible spending account through your employer, which means you're already putting money away pre-tax, that you can't also double dip on the credit at tax time. It's true you can't double dip on the same dollars, but the flex account caps at $5,000. The credit caps at $6,000. So that extra $1,000 that you probably spent on your child's care, because let's face it, a lot of us don't, 5,000 is not enough to cover all the daycare and related cost. So that extra 1,000 could count. That extra 1,000, I mean, that could come in and translate into $200 for your of additional refund or less you'll owe at tax time. So it's worth considering even if you do a flex account. Now back to summer. So two things for the summertime. If your if your school-age child is attending a summer day camp, and these would be camps such as sports camps, computer camps, math and theater camps, even reading or studying skills, if you go to one of those type of camps for your child this summer. All those count as qualifying dependent care or child care type credits, not educational related type expenses. Now, any camps that they're in for summer school or tutoring programs, those are educational related, and those don't count for your credit here. But any other of the summer camps do count. The credits are, as I said, up to $6,000 of qualifying expenses. So definitely consider those credits when you are preparing your taxes. And the last thing for the summer I wanted to talk about is withholdings. If your student, if your child, I should say, is lucky enough this summer or any time this year to land a part-time, well, really full-time job, but only part of this year that they are working. But if they're working full-time any part of this year, make sure they tell their employer to consider whether or not they can use the part-time withholding tables, not the full-time withholding tables that you and I always use. Because that way their employer will likely be able to withhold less for taxes from their paycheck, at least for this year, the first part-time year. And then they will likely be able to use their money, more of their money, rather than having to wait until refund time to get it back. Here's the rule on that. If they will work or are expected to work less than 245 days during this year, they can ask their employer to use the part-time tables and get more in their paycheck. Everybody likes that. A lot of us think that we are better stewards of our tax dollars than the government, so a lot of people would prefer to have it in their pocket rather than have it taken out for taxes from their paycheck. Just some thoughts for the summer and for your kids. Have a great day and a good rest of the summer.